Good morning, Greg here. Burn at both ends. Burning on the front end of Thursday. It is 6:44 a.m. Mountain Time. I'm in Lakewood, Colorado. Burning from Denver. I guess technically Lakewood, but it's a suburb of Denver. And burning on the front end of day 3 of 3, a closing session for this I-Core program. So this is this technology transfer program I'm involved in where we're learning all about the business model canvas, lean startup, customer discovery interviews, ecosystem value chain, kind of the whole, everything that you would need to build a startup or to build a business model really, which is typically going to be a startup. And, but not that it couldn't be used for a business that's 10 years old and looking to, add a market or just look at a new idea. I guess you could use it for that with no problem. Actually, you certainly could. So it is not exclusively startup material. It just so happens that all of us, this is kind of how we're positioned to think about this. And so closing session. So not much going on today. It's more of a half day. We have a little graduation ceremony. We have a keynote speaker. That's what else we got. We got a team photo. And then today we present on sort of like our path through the program. So like how our ideas have changed, how we've pivoted, how our business model canvas changed. You can imagine that, in the opening session, if you can think back that far, actually, well, there are videos to look at, but we had a business model canvas that we threw up on the board. And how has that changed to today? We had an ecosystem. We had, like revision 1 or vision A of all these items, our value prop, our target customer segments. How have those changed as we've meandered through these interviews? And I would say that my team had a relatively unique experience. I mean, I think there were a couple of other teams that kind of were able to just dive as deep as we did. In fact, I can think of one other team, certainly, maybe two. Actually, no, just one, where the initial application that we chose really ended up becoming the thing that we just kept diving on it, and we had a real deep dive into it. And I think that was really beneficial to us and our business model because we were able to uncover a lot of information about this specific application, and then understand like what slice in it we sit and how we could benefit that slice with our technology. And I would say, two huge things for me came out of this. And these are things that I've been talking about, things that I've been experiencing. Number one is time management, right? I'm really big on time management. I really want to use my time effectively and efficiently. Both those together, not just one or the other. Because sometimes if we focus too much on being efficient, then we kind of lose the effectiveness. So that's when someone or I'll get into just doing tasks but not really making progress. But I'm doing tasks very quickly, right? So the effective piece is important. And this is and I haven't talked much about the Success Journal while I've been here. I've really been focused on I-Core. I have been touching base with my project back at home, and things are going well. So I haven't had a real need to dive deep into the Success Journal, but that is a big piece of the Success Journal is really it gives a way to make sure that things are effective, right? With the focus items and the success steps, that really ensures, or in theory, ensures that the successes, which are pretty much like the tasks, are effective. And then it's a matter of, all right, now I see what I have to do. How can I do that efficiently? How can I sequence that, prioritize that, so on and so forth? And that's really, this time management thing is all about, right, understanding priorities, understanding sequencing, and then getting into action, and backing that up on the front end is organization, and that's what the Success Journal does. And those are, that's what I'm really big on, right? And I'll say it again, right? With organization comes clarity. With clarity comes the ability to prioritize. With the ability to prioritize, now I can get into action. And that overall kind of model there is planning, in my opinion, and that's how I attack things. And so time management was a big piece to this because it really felt they did the program office, hats off to them. They did a great job. Instructors did a fantastic job. They really made it seem like we're in a startup, and it really felt that way. And I'm really glad that my company supported me in doing this program, and they kind of let me handle it the way I needed to handle it. I worked a lot from home because it was just so much easier. For example, I pick up an extra hour of work when I work from home because it's a half an hour in, half an hour back. So now typically I bike to work, so that kind of counts as exercise. But during the summertime with camp, it's harder for me to bike because my oldest daughter has camp in different spots every week, and sometimes I just can't bike to those spots with her because they're too far away. So anyway, that's a little aside there, but anyway, so I'm really glad that my company, let me work from home and let me handle my own schedule. And I thought, really, it really tested my ability to do this. And I think that, my training and my experience really let me handle it in a very, effective manner. And then the second thing, you say, patience and persistence was a critical piece to, that really enabled us to burrow so deep into these big companies to learn so much about our application, right? It was, I made sure that every lead that came in, no matter how, no matter where it came in from, how weak it was, whatever it looked like, that lead got attention. I acted upon it. I did follow-ups upon it. And some of them obviously didn't turn out, but a lot of them did. A lot, it was amazing how many people, an initial referral went out, and then like 3 weeks later, something comes back, and there's the patience component. Because sometimes it takes a while, especially, like we're doing this during the summer, people are on vacation. So if one person in that sequence of getting to somebody is on vacation for a week, obviously it delays the whole thing by a week. And if it takes 3 or 4 touches to get there and back, and it takes a couple of days for each touch, you can imagine that. Now add a week of vacation, add 3 or 4 days times 2 or 3. You can, easily imagine being 3 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks. And that happened. And other times, I'd link in, like cold connect somebody, as I called it. And that day I'm scheduling an interview. So it really ran the gamut, and it was really on me to persist with the people and kind of walk that line about being a nuisance, but still being persistent, and also not just with the people that we scheduled interviews with, but also the referrals, and this is, where, I learned I have to be careful just because of what I saw. I have to be careful about when I offer to help somebody, because I don't want to have a good intention there, but then it drops off my plate and I don't help them. And now they're bugging me, or they don't feel comfortable bugging me, but now I didn't do what I said I was going to do. So there's a keep your word kind of component in there. And just kind of a little warning, be careful about referrals. Make sure that you can back up your commitment to giving someone a referral, or at least circle back around and say, hey, I tried to connect with so-and-so, seems like they're not around, or seems like it's not good timing right now. So let's just let that one go. So, but I did find that, that kind of gentle reminders really helped other people. I kind of feel bad about it sometimes, but at the same time, like, you could tell when they appreciate it, because all of a sudden, you have that communication, a week goes by, nothing happens, and you email them, a week and a half later, and all of a sudden things come, things just come alive. Now, it could have been that they were waiting, or it could have been that they're just real busy and now they just attacked it. So, but yeah, patience, persistence, time management, these were critical things. I felt that I was very well prepared from my past experiences to handle it with this I-Corps program, and I found that in executing it, and it was challenging too. I mean, I'm not saying I did it with ease. I guess what I can say is that from my experience, I knew how to do it, and then with just kind of my new mindset about, when I don't want to work on a project, I work on a project, or I'm sorry, when I don't want to hammer on a project, I hammer on a project. That kind of mindset really was like, all right, you know what? Get back to these people. Just here, go the extra mile here. Send out another 3 emails, or just call that person right now. All these things, and also just kind of going with the flow. There were some times I remember where I just got a call out of the blue from someone. Oh yeah, you emailed me. Here, I have 10 minutes now to talk. And like a past version of me would have tried to push against that and tried to schedule something, just because it wasn't like when I wanted scheduled. But just let that go. Just grabbed a piece of paper, started writing stuff down that they were saying, and then they were gone. And but I found that I captured some good information. So kind of letting go of this past version of me that wants to control and wants to gets uncomfortable when things are kind of out of sequence or just out of the blue. So I thought that was very helpful. So and I'm just looking forward to closing session today, last day, getting back home tonight, back to Albany. And then next week, the next Monday, we're flying to South Carolina for to see my parents, and then Tuesday up to New York City for one night for the Ents Venmo party. Should be awesome. Looking forward to that. And yeah, I think that's it. Rock and roll. So this is thanks for listening. This is my channel here. This is about my journey as an aspiring entrepreneur. These are the things I'm doing. This iCore program, I have to say, is one of the coolest things I've done as an aspiring entrepreneur. I highly recommend doing this program or something like it, something customer discovery like, lean startup like. It's really beneficial, and especially if you're able to do it in like a really intense program like this was. Like I fully committed to this, and I'm proud to say that. And only because of that full commitment did I really get this huge benefit. I see other folks in the program that kind of have committed, and I think they got less than half the value. And so if you are able to fully commit to a program for a good amount of time and get a real good taste of what it's like to be in a startup and to deal with all these interesting, challenging problems to solve, I think it's really healthy. So this is my journey. So subscribe if you like what you hear. Comment down below. Tell me about your journey. I'd love to hear about it. I'd love to get in conversation about this kind of stuff. I love talking about it, and I want to be of service. So if there's something I can do to help, please let me know. I'll do my best to give it a shot. Yeah, that's about it. So check out the description. There's some motivational links down there, stuff that really turned me on to elevate my game this year. There is some great music down there. You'll find Ents down there. That's this voice-based social media platform that I'm totally digging. What else will you find down there? Usually I put a beat in the background, and G Money's my alter ego. I write these drum beats, but I don't have the ability to do that with my Chromebook. But there is a link down below to the beat that I would normally put behind the iCore videos. And then once I'm done with iCore, I'm going to switch up the video format, switch up the beat. But check out those beats if you like them, and I'll leave my story there. So go out, have a great day, have a great Thursday, crush it, light it up, inspire folks, do great things, and I will see you this evening.